These were the inventive giants responsible for spawning and advancing the information age.
When you're in the zone of doing things that no one's ever done before, if you're only succeeding, you're not taking enough risk.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 most influential business moguls in technology. For this list, we've chosen individuals whose companies have not only contributed significant technological breakthroughs, but also those tech titans who have garnered much attention, power, respect, and wealth for engineering new innovations that have led to massive cultural impacts.
Anything you want on Earth, you're going to get from us.
Number 10. Michael Dell, founder, chairman, and CEO of Dell Inc. It all started as a small hardware upgrading business in his college dorm room, but Dell's love for and expertise in the field eventually moved him to broaden its horizons. The result? One of the largest multi-billion-dollar computer companies in the world.
What is this industry really all about? Well, it's kind of about every industry in the world.
After successfully removing his company from public trading in the midst of the Great Recession, Dell has helped his company continue to flourish as one of the more profitable and recognizable brands in the market, looking towards the future with new ventures in cloud computing.
Throughout our 28-year history, when we have had failures, those have ultimately resulted in some of the greatest successes we've ever had.
Number 9. Reed Hastings, co-founder and CEO of Netflix Inc.
Hi, I'm Reed Hastings, CEO and co-founder of Netflix.
Without this guy, we'd still be draining our gas tanks on our weekly rushes to the video rental store.
From this DVD service where you could get these movies mailed to you.
DVD?
Exactly.
This burden became a thing of the past when Hastings co-founded Netflix. Pioneering the DVD by mail rental format, the company quickly dominated competition through its emphasis on quick deliveries and no late fees.
And it's in a relative short period of time. Does it feel strange to you?
Oh, very much so.
It has since expanded to Blu-ray rentals, original programming, and online streaming, which more than tripled its amount of subscribers between 2009 and 2012.
Elizabeth,
Stephen,
I can't believe I caught you.
you came back. I knew you'd come back.
I have to ask you something.
Anything.
What is the Netflix password?
This man single-handedly changed the way people consume content and probably pioneered the binge-watching phenomenon.
You know, we've got to have some failures. And so we don't really want to have all hits. I'm clearly glad the first ones are hits. But, you know, the sign that you're right at the edge of chaos, the edge of creativity, is that some stuff doesn't work.
Number 8. Andy Grove, former COO, chairman, and CEO of Intel Corporation.
Well, I don't see people and technology as two different things. Technology is created by people, and particularly created by people who are well versed in the technological foundations of a new technology.
Computers as a common household item would still be a fantasy were it not for the leadership and inventive efforts of our number 8 pick. Although not one of the company's official founders, Grove was present and active from day one of Intel's incorporation in 1968, playing a crucial role in the company's development of the earliest semiconductors. Working up the ranks, he was eventually given the titles of President, Chairman, and CEO, and in 1997 was named Time Magazine's Man of the Year for his contributions to the development of the microchip.
People created technology. Technology gives opportunity to other people to create applications for that technology, and it keeps going like that, but people are the creators.
Number 7. Mark Zuckerberg, co-founder, chairman, and CEO of Facebook Inc.
As the company has grown, he's tried to hang on to the energy and flexibility of a startup. Move fast and break things is its unofficial motto, and Zuckerberg is still closely involved in the details.
You don't get to be one of the world's youngest self-made billionaires without having over 1 billion users supporting your venture.
Zuckerberg himself sits at an ordinary desk, just like everyone else.
Founded in 2004, Zuckerberg's social network swiftly evolved into one of the web's most popular sites, overwhelming adept rivals such as Friendster and MySpace. Despite setbacks in the form of lawsuits and an iffy IPO, Zuckerberg's direction and determination has kept his company on high speed, reaching a peak in its market value after going public in 2012. Here's one guy who knows how to turn users into cash.
As a person, you'd get really bored if you had to do the same thing lots of times in a row.
Number 6. Elon Musk, CEO and CTO of SpaceX, CEO and Chief Product Architect of Tesla Motors.
If you want quality, you need people to feel at ease. You need people to feel like this is a quality place here. I need to make a quality product.
After graduating with degrees in both economics and physics, the South Africa-born Musk opted to utilize his entrepreneurial and scientific background to reach for the stars, literally. His boldness paid off when his space travel company SpaceX made history as the first commercial company to launch and dock a vehicle with the International Space Station. In addition, he used his earnings to invest in tech companies like PayPal.
Well, when we created Tesla, we wanted to show that you could make a really compelling electric car, that you could make an electric car that was really better than a petrol car.
With his other company, Tesla Motors, increasing in popularity, Musk is an accelerating force worthy of notice on the information superhighway.
By definition, we must move to renewable energy. I think people sometimes, how can one argue against that? Because to argue for it is to say that we will eventually run out of energy and die.
Number 5. Larry Page and Sergey Brin, co-founders of Google Inc.
We had no idea what we wanted to do. We were interested in doing research, and I had lots of crazy things I wanted to do. And my advisor, actually, Terry Winograd, said, "Why don't you have this idea about the links on the web? That sounds like a good thing to work on."
What originally began as a research project by 2 PhD students grew to be the most utilized, reliable, and simple in design search engine we all know and love.
We experimented with a variety of things. We had some shared interests, and Larry had this crazy idea that he was going to download all the links on the web and then do something with them. It wasn't entirely clear what.
After inventing the PageRank algorithm to change the way search results were ranked, the pair also helped build a company culture at Google that is consistently categorized among the best. With Page at the helm as CEO, Google has achieved legendary status in the technological world, with its expansions to other industries like mobile cellular devices and the buyout of other popular sites like Blogger and, of course, YouTube.
Partnership is really important to Google. We've been a company that's had a lot of partners and a lot of business relationships. I think that's been really important to Google's success, and I hope it's important to all of you as well and to your success.
Number 4, Larry Ellison, co-founder and CEO of Oracle Corporation.
He's just bought the island of Lanai, which is the 6th largest island in Hawaii, for reportedly $500 million to $600 million.
While his company is something of an obscure name to the masses, Ellison's Oracle Corporation has stood as a majestic force in the fields of computer technology and software development since its 1977 founding. Maintaining an emphasis and reputation for business innovation, the company's resource planning and customer management products are heavily relied on by countless thousands of tech-based, industrial, and even small businesses around the globe.
Whether your application load is data warehousing or your application load is online transaction processing, in either case, this machine will run it much faster and much more reliably.
Oracle comes in just behind Microsoft as the 2nd most profitable software developer. And that's partly because Ellison is as driven as he is outspoken.
Mark Andreessen, for instance, has famously said that none of the startups that work with Andreessen Horowitz run Oracle. And I guess I'm wondering, over time...
Well, I know. We just have to rely on General Electric and AT&T and Verizon.
But I'm saying if the next generation of companies isn't running Oracle...
Which of the Andreessen Horowitz companies have we lost?
Number 3, Jeff Bezos, founder, chairman, and CEO of Amazon.com.
You go back in time 18 years, I was driving the packages to the post office myself.
Amazon's founder and chief executive officer is considered a crucial individual responsible for the explosion of e-commerce, and with good reason. When Bezos initially founded Amazon in 1994, it was a small online bookstore with fluctuating profit margins.
When I was driving the packages myself, one of my visualizations of success is that we might one day be big enough that we could afford a forklift.
But Bezos knew diversification was key. And so today, it's the world's largest online retailer that sells just about everything. The company has further expanded to the manufacturing and selling of its own consumer electronics, most notably the Kindle Fire tablet and the Fire phone, and set the standard for selling stuff on the internet. Number 2, Bill Gates, co-founder, former chairman, and CEO of Microsoft Corporation.
This is very disrespectful. I'm going to just close this.
We all know the company and its innovative founder. The daring prospect that is Microsoft would not have come to fruition were it not for the relentlessness and creativity of our number 2 pick. Bill Gates and Paul Allen founded Microsoft in 1975, partnered with IBM in 1980, and changed the way people use computers every step of the way.
They weren't kits or anything. They came out prepackaged, and they looked like they would really ignite the volume in the market. And all 3 of them went out and did very well.
While Gates has since stepped down as CEO, he remains on board as Microsoft's leading tech advisor. But when you're one of the richest men in the world, there's no real need for a high executive position, is there?
Well, I think the thing that'll really change computing is that the computer's ability to see, to listen, to talk, to recognize your handwriting, it'll make it a lot more pervasive.
Before we unveil our top technological tycoon, here are a few honorable mentions.
Ma's personal fortune is valued around $13 billion. Still, money doesn't seem to be his motivation, but building an empire is.
I would not go away from that. I'm still a punk. You know, what was amazing to me about the punk scene and why I got into it is because there was this confidence of I'm not going to go off and be shy.
The notion is the modern career is actually in fact changing, where there's options for shifting companies, for how do you evolve, even career tracks are changing.
A guy like us who come from outside and use internet at the hotel or my home in Silicon Valley, I said, oh my God, how can American live like this?
Number 1, Steve Jobs, co-founder, former chairman, and CEO of Apple Inc.
When we first started out, we didn't know how to spell the word software.
After forming Apple with Steve Wozniak in 1976, Jobs is credited with spurring the personal computer revolution.
Decided we'd sell printed circuit boards at twice what it cost to build them and hopefully recoup our calculator and transportation at some later date.
He later paved the way for a revolution in consumer electronics as well, through such breakthrough inventions as, well, just about everything that starts with a lowercase I. Also co-founder of Pixar Animation Studios, Jobs and his companies continue to inspire the wild minds of artists who are willing to think different. Here's to the one who was crazy enough to think he could change the world and actually did. And while he passed away in 2011, his legacy remains as strong as ever.
How many calculators do you own?
2, maybe.
Right. And you use the automatic bank telling machines?
Sure.
So life is already seducing you into learning this stuff.
Do you agree with our list? Which tech mogul do you find to be the most influential? For more innovative top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
Technology has taken us places we've only dreamed.
Now I can do whatever I want.
It gives hope to the hopeless.
So your device is on. Can you hear me talking?